Hi there, and welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. And today I am so excited because I have the new Ninja Foodi Hot Cold Blender, and I'm gonna open it up, unbox it, and we're gonna whip up two different recipes that I just sort of made up right before this video started. So we'll see how they turn out and if this works as well as they say it does. All right, so a hot cold blender, basically, because I've been doing a lot of research because I've always wanted one, will cook, heat, and blend. I guess cook and heat goes together, right? And blend your food so that you can make really quick and easy dishes. So let's see how it works. Let's see what it looks like. Oops, better get this one off. There we go. All right, so the first thing on top is, of course, the packet that always comes with the Ninja Foodi products with your manual that you can go over, and I do recommend reading those before you get started. And then there's a little recipe book, which is kind of cool. There's a few different things in here. I noticed on the cover, or somewhere, oh, right here, that there's a tomato soup. That's what we're gonna be making today. We're gonna make a really quick and easy tomato soup, and I'm also gonna make a strawberry banana whip, I'm gonna call it. We'll see how that works out too. All right, so this is the Let's Get Started guide. So that's interesting. Let's see what the blender looks like. There is a brush here. I think that's for cleaning the blades. All right. This is heavy. Oh my goodness. That is pretty heavy. All right, so there is the actual picture for the blender, and it is all glass up here. That's why it's so heavy, I guess. So the base should be in here. All right, let's see what this is. Oh, I know what this is. This is the tamper. So when you're making certain things and you need to push it down so it finishes blending, that's what that's for. Gosh, I hope I can get this out. Yeah, okay. So the base is not that heavy. That's good. The cord. Oh, that is a major cord. Let me put that to the side. The base down. Is it upside down? Nope, that's right. All right, we'll move the box out of the way. That's all that's in the box there. And let's get the paper off here. It's not paper, it's plastic. I really want to take a look at this cord. This is major. All right, cool. All right, so here's the plug that goes into the outlet, and it has, like, I guess what's called a ground fault interrupt. So it will trigger on and off. I'm trying to, one says reset and one says test. That's cool. I have not seen a plug like this on any of my other Ninja Foodi Family products. So, all right, so let's take a look at the base of the blender. That's very pretty. A lot of buttons there. So there's a smoothie button, a frozen drink, a saute, a hearty soup, a smooth soup. Oh, that's cool. So that's going to change the speed at which it blends so that you can have a chunkier soup, a sauce and a dip, cocktails. Wow. Mixer water, extract, ice cream. I'm gonna have fun with this. I cannot wait to start making recipes for this. I see this going with the Ninja Foodi really well, the pressure cooker and air crisper. So I think I'm gonna be able to do some components of a dish and then use this and the other one. I think that's gonna be cool. I'll tell you though, this is heavy. It is definitely heavy. All right, let's see if I can figure out how to open it. All right, so there's a little locking mechanism here, so you just turn it. Maybe. All right, that comes out. That's probably a vent. When you do really hot foods, sometimes you want to vent them before you pour them out, just so they cool down some. But this is interesting. It does lock in there like this, but it should pull off, right? I don't want to break it. I cannot get it off. That is interesting. Maybe I should read the instructions. That would be novel. Oh, there it is. Oh boy, that's a tight seal. All right, that is it. So I am assuming that this fits on the base. I'm not gonna turn it on yet because I need to clean it up because we're gonna cook with it today. So it fits on the base here. There's 2 arrows and it doesn't turn or anything, so I think it just fits on there snugly. This is a nice looking blender. I am extremely happy with it. But you know what? Doesn't matter what it looks like. Let's see how it works. I'm gonna wash these parts up and we're gonna get it plugged in and we're gonna first make a strawberry whip. So I went to wash up all the components and, you know, I said to my husband, you wanna rinse this out? There's a big sticker on there that says, do not submerge. And I'm thinking, well, gosh, how do you clean it? Well, there's a clean button. So we're gonna do that right on camera. So I'm gonna put this lid back together, which this just pops in and turns to click into place. And then we will put 24 ounces of water, and there's really nice measuring markers here. So let's hope I got enough. Here, 24 ounces. 24 ounces of water, 2 small drops of dish detergent. I'm watching it come out here. I don't want to screw this up. All right, ready? 1, 2. Oh, that was a little more than that. Oh, let's see what happens. That was a little bit more. But anyway, we're going to go with it. If we have suds all over the place, you will know what not to do. All right, now let's see if I can get this back in. And there we go. Okay. And it locks into place. I'm a little afraid. Okay. I'm never afraid of any appliances, but there's something about this one that I'm a little afraid of. All right, so let's turn it on. I did plug it in, and it comes across the screen, Foodi. This is a part of the Foodi Family collection. And all right, so once it's turned on, all we do is hit clean. Let's see what happens. I'm scared. It's auto cleaning. So it's pouring out a little bit of air here, cool air. So is that it? Now it says heat on. Look, it goes to a timer, a time down. It shows you that it's cleaning. I wish the Foodi Air Crisper pressure cooker had a self-clean function. That would be great. Oh, this is fun. I'm gonna have fun with this blender. So we've got 6 minutes left. I am thinking what's gonna happen is it's gonna heat this water up. It's gonna pulse it some more for the next 6 minutes. So I'll let you know what happens. We'll be back when it's done, and then we'll make up our strawberry whip. And then after that, we will make up a tomato soup. All right, so that was pretty cool. So what happened is it started to heat up and boil, actually. This water was boiling, and then it would pulse a few times and then settle down again and stayed hot, though. And it did that 2 or 3 times until the cycle was done. So obviously we still have soapy water in here. We need to rinse that out. So this is not, you don't have to do this every single time you use the blender, but it's probably a great idea to do when you have some of the kind of foods that I'm gonna cook today, like the strawberry whip. I can imagine that that might get stuck down in the bottom a little bit. So that is a really cool feature. I'm excited to play around with that and see when you need to clean it and when you don't, when you can just rinse it under the faucet to get it cleaned up. You don't want to ever submerge this in water, so don't ever do that. Don't sit it in your sink. You want to rinse it out right after use, and then either do the deep cleaning method or just rinse it out with some soap and water. And then the brush here you want to use to clean the blades. So it looks like Ninja got it right here with this one because they've thought of just about everything. So let's get this rinsed up and let's make a strawberry banana whip. I'm so used to turning. You know, a lot of blenders you have to turn. This one you just pick up off the base. All right, I'm gonna go get it cleaned up. Okay, so I know I said I was gonna make the strawberry banana whip, but since this is still actually a little bit warm, I figured let's go ahead and make the soup first. So we're gonna make a really quick and easy cream of tomato soup. So the first thing I have here is 1/2 cup of chicken bone broth. Pour that in. This is 1 14.5-ounce can of fire roasted tomatoes. So you could use regular tomatoes, but I happen to really like the fire roasted. Woo! That splattered a little bit. I like the flavor of the fire roasted. And then I have 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 1 teaspoon of Demerara sugar. I'm gonna put that in. Those are totally optional. You can season after the fact. Now, I'm not gonna add in the cream. This is heavy whipping cream, but if I add it in now, you know what's gonna happen? It's just gonna become really thick because it's gonna whip up like whipping cream. So we're gonna add that at the end. And I'm gonna save a couple of pieces of basil here for garnish, and then the rest of it, I'm not gonna worry about chopping. And of course, I have no idea what I'm doing. I didn't even read the instructions. So we are learning this one together, and let's see what happens. Pick off most of these leaves. So probably about maybe 1/4 cup of basil, and you could use as little or as much as you want. You can use fresh, you could use dried basil, whatever you want to do is fine. All right, so we're gonna get the lid on. It's getting a little bit easier for me to put that on and off. And then we're gonna put this on. And that just fits in and then it turns to secure. And let's see how intuitive our buttons are here. So we want to do a smooth soup. If you wanted it a little bit chunkier, I guess you could do the hearty soup, but let's do smooth soup. Let's see what happens. Well, we don't need to do that for 30 minutes. We don't need a 30-minute soup. I'm gonna have to look that up. Maybe we do a manual cook. So let's cancel that out because I can see what it's doing. It's heating it up and everything, but I'm not gonna use that. We're not gonna do that. Let's see if I can cancel it. I guess I could turn it off and turn it back on. All right, so I powered it back up and there's a manual cook and blend button down here. So we're gonna go ahead and use that. So I'm gonna hit the manual cook and see what options pop up. Let's do high. And let's see if it gives me, it doesn't give me any way to set the time, but what I'll do is I'll wait to see when this starts to heat up, like if I start to see it bubbling, and then I'll move over to the blend, and that should be all we need for our soup. So I'm thinking maybe a couple of minutes because this thing heated up really fast during the clean cycle. I can already hear it. I can already see it. It's already starting to boil. This thing is amazing. You might be able to make soup in like 5 minutes from scratch using a can. Obviously, you could use fresh tomatoes too. I'm so excited about this blender. So we're 1 minute in and I'm seeing a boiling. Now I do want to get this really hot because we're going to add in some cold cream. So I want it to be the perfect temperature for serving. So I don't want to jump the gun on this step. So probably about 2 minutes. So the blender's starting to steam up and there's some boiling going on over there, a little bit over here. So I think we are about to come into a full-on boil, and here we go. This is the coolest thing ever. So in about 2 minutes, this heated from room temperature, because all the ingredients were room temperature pretty much, to a full-on boil. There's a little area over here that's not quite boiling, so I'm gonna let it finish heating and boil so the whole thing is boiling. And then we're gonna switch it over to blend, pour in our cream, get our soup in the bowl, give it a taste, and we just made homemade cream of tomato soup. I do find it interesting that this side is heating so much more than this side. That's interesting to me. And I'm not sure why. Everything's in place here. All right, we're in a full-on boil. Let's go ahead and hit the blend. See what happens. But you can't just switch. So I do see that. Maybe you can pulse. Oh, look at this. So we can pulse it. And then it's still heating. That's so interesting. So I could actually remove this. The steam is coming out, and I can put my cream in. I don't want to pulse that, but I can put my cream in, which was 1/2 of a cup of cream, just to sort of warm that up a little bit too. Maybe I can give it one quick pulse. Let's try that. So we don't really whip up that cream. All right, this is amazing. Now, I would ordinarily take this down to low if I was gonna let it heat up anymore, but I'm not. I'm gonna turn it off, and we're gonna pull this out of the base. Now, the one thing that I noticed, and I haven't read the manual, like I said, because I literally just opened it today with you, so I need to read the manual, but there isn't a way to like open up that, or that I know of, or that I can even see how it would work, to open this up to just pour it in. So you do need to take the lid off. And if it's in a full-on boil, I would definitely wait to take the lid off until it cools down some. But since we added that cold cream and we didn't give it a chance to really come back up to a boil, I think we are good to go. So let's pour our tomato soup. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. So this would be enough for probably about 2 cups of soup. Let's put this over to the side. Put our little garnishes on. All right, this looks amazing. Let's see, how hot is it? And first of all, let's go over how chunky it is. So there are still chunks of tomato in here, which is personally the way that I like to eat my tomato soup. But if you kept blending it, it would become definitely a lot thinner. You know, the chunks would just blend up. It's the perfect temperature. It tastes delicious. Now, some of the basil did not get as blended as I would like either. And I'm not talking about the garnish that I put on top. I'm talking about the stuff that was in the soup. There's some bigger chunks, but that could be taken care of again with just doing a few more pulses of the blend. This is unbelievable. It is so delicious. I am really excited about this blender. All right, let me get the blender cleaned up and let's move on to our strawberry banana whip. So the blender has had time to cool down. I did clean it. I didn't put it through the deep cleaning. I just rinsed it in the sink, and so we're good to go. So now we're gonna make what I'm calling a strawberry banana whip. And I don't know what that is. I'm making it up, okay? So seriously, I have no idea. I think it's gonna be a cross between like an ice cream and a whipped kind of mousse. But really, I have no idea. So we're just gonna get started with it. I'm gonna put in about a cup of ice that has had a chance to melt. So there was probably about a tablespoon of water in there. I'm gonna put in 1 cup of frozen strawberries and 1 banana. Now this banana is frozen, and it's one of those bananas that you let get really dark, really, really ripe, and then you freeze, like when you're gonna make banana bread. And I just took it out, and I figured that will be perfect because that has the most concentrated flavor. The darker the banana gets, the darker the skin, the riper it is, and the more flavorful it is. All right, so we're gonna start off with that first, and we're just going to turn it on here. And let's see, what do we want to pick? Well, I don't want to pick ice cream because I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Let's do a smoothie. Okay, so it's icing up but it's not blending because there's not enough liquid in there. So let's see how this tool works. Take the lid off. And I guess this is the handle part. We're going to... It smells good. Okay, good. It says it's done. Now I don't have to worry. Now this won't go down far enough to catch the blade. So you don't have to worry about that. I was being real careful, and now I realize that that's why this ring is here. So you can't accidentally put that down into the blade where it will get caught. But I do want to take the lid off just a little bit here. I probably should have added a little bit more water, but I'm not going to worry about it at this point. I'm just going to take this around so it gets down in to where the blade goes. It's a nice little slushy right now. I can barely see into the bottom there because I'm so short. Okay, let's put this back on. I'm gonna leave this off. There's, you really want to keep it on when you're doing hot food, but this is such a little bit, I'm not gonna worry about it. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit smoothie again. When I think all that ice is crushed, completely crushed up, then I'm gonna put the heavy cream in. So this would be like an ice. All right, I think we're good here. So what I'm gonna do is just stick this down here. I want to tell you what it tastes like right now. Oh, that's really good. There's no ice crystals or anything like that, so it's very smooth, and it tastes really good. Really good. All right, so let's see if we can turn this into what I'm calling a whip. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cream in now. And I'm gonna put the lid back on just because now that we've added some volume, I wanna put that back on so it doesn't spray out. And let's go to smoothie again. so that has completed the cycle. I'm gonna pull this lid off again. I don't think it's getting as thick as I was hoping. So it's still pretty liquidy here. So that would be more like a smoothie. It's good though. But I don't want it like that. I want it to be more like, kind of like an ice cream or something like that. So let's see if we can figure this out together. Let's go to blend, because if the blender goes high enough, I should be able to whip that cream. Maybe the acid from the strawberries is creating the issue. I'm not sure. We're just kind of winging it, right? All right, so I learned something new too, is that you can just turn the blend off and on by hitting the blender again. So let's take a peek. See if it's getting any thicker. It's really not. So I think this is gonna be a fail. It's gonna taste good though, but I'm gonna try one more thing while we're here, and that is just to hit the ice cream button. That's probably not gonna do it either. All right, I paused that. That's not gonna work. I need a constant, really fast whipping if I have any chance of getting that whipped cream whipped up. And again, this could be an issue just because I added in the strawberries at first. Maybe I should have done it in 2 different stages. But anyway, I'll work on the recipe. This is just me trying to make up something on the fly. Let's try the extract. That still doesn't... Yep, I think we're going to be left with a smoothie. Let's try frozen drink. All right, I think we're as good as we're going to get here. So that didn't work out like I imagined, but when things don't work out, we just change up. So instead of making a whip that I was hoping to eat with a spoon, which is really probably because of those strawberries, we're gonna go ahead and pour in our drink here. So it's more like a smoothie now. So you could use yogurt with this instead of that heavy cream, because this is not low-cal, that's for sure. But there is no artificial sweeteners in there at all. It's delicious, absolutely delicious. I can see a lot of potential with the Ninja Foodi Hot Cold Blender. I am really excited to get started with some recipes on it. I know you would have a ton of fun with it too. And I will leave a link to how you can purchase this below in the video description. So just hit, I think it's see more, and you can see that link so that you can get one for yourself. Oh, and one last thing. This comes out for easy cleaning. My husband figured that one out. Isn't that great? Perfect.